That uncomfortable feeling in your stomach when someone speaks. They sound perfect. Their story makes logical sense. They are smiling at you. Their tone is friendly, and they are making perfect eye contact. But your brain screams that something is fundamentally wrong. You do not know what it is, so you ignore it. You tell yourself you are just being paranoid. You convince yourself to give them the benefit of the doubt. That is your first, and potentially your last, mistake. That feeling is not paranoia. That feeling is your primal brain catching nonverbal incongruences before your logical, modern mind can even process them. People lie. Words are cheap, easy to manufacture, and constantly used as weapons of deception. But the body never lies. Every single time you listen only to words and ignore behavior, you willingly hand your power to people who secretly exploit your trust. In the next few minutes, you are going to learn the exact psychological framework to read anyone in 10 seconds. You will learn to decode the silent biological signals that manipulators, liars, and narcissists leak every single day, while the massive majority of people walk around completely blind, reacting to lies, fake promises, and social illusions. You are going to learn how to see reality exactly as it is. We are going to break down the evolutionary psychology of human deception. You will learn the hidden truth about eye contact, the biological necessity of hand gestures, the undeniable honesty of the feet, and the micro-expressions that betray even the most calculated sociopaths. You will stop guessing. You will start seeing, and you will become completely untouchable in any social dynamic. Rewind this if needed, because this first rule changes everything about how you interact with humans. In every single interaction, two entirely different conversations are happening at the exact same time. There is the script they carefully prepared for you, and there is the biological truth leaking from their nervous system. The problem is that society has trained you to only listen to the script. Let us start with the most obvious and easily manipulated leak: the eyes. Since you were a child, you have been told that a liar cannot look you in the eye. You have been told to maintain eye contact to show confidence. Manipulators know this too. In fact, clinical studies show that practiced liars will actually hold eye contact longer than an honest person. They will stare you down to fake confidence and observe if you are buying their lie. Do not look at their stare. Look at their pupils. The human pupil is controlled by the autonomic nervous system. It is the exact same system that controls your heartbeat and your digestion. It cannot be consciously faked. When someone is genuinely interested in you, when they're excited by what you are offering, or when they feel positive emotion, their pupils dilate. They physically expand to take in more visual information. But when someone is uncomfortable, deceptive, feeling threatened, or secretly rejecting you, their pupils contract. They shrink to block out the environment. If someone is sitting across from you saying yes with their mouth, but their pupils are entirely contracted to the size of pinholes, they are lying to you. Their words are offering agreement, but their biology is screaming rejection. Here is where 99% of people get completely played by the illusion of calm. You believe that a calm person is an honest person. You think that if someone isn't sweating or stuttering, they must be telling the truth. But you must watch their blinking rate. Lying requires a massive amount of cognitive load. It takes intense brain power to invent a fake story, remember the details, suppress the truth, and monitor your reaction all at the same time. When a manipulator is actively lying to you, their blinking rate will often drop drastically. They stare unnaturally because their brain is processing the heavy cognitive load of the lie. But the exact second they finish telling the lie, their blinking speeds up rapidly in a flurry of flutters. It is a biological release of the stress they just endured. Less blinking while speaking, followed by rapid blinking immediately after, is the ultimate silent confession of deception. It is the brain exhaling after holding its breath. Now, drop your gaze from their face to their hands. Evolutionary psychology dictates that humans need to see hands to feel safe. Our ancestors, living in brutal environments, needed to know instantly if the person approaching was holding a rock, a spear, or a weapon. When someone trusts you and has nothing to hide, their hands are visible, open, and relaxed. They speak with their palms exposed, a biological signal of being unarmed. But when someone is hiding their true intentions, their biology forces them to conceal their hands. They shove them deep into their pockets. They hide them under the table. They interlock their fingers tightly in their lap. Hidden hands mean hidden motives. If their words are friendly, offering you a deal or a promise, but their hands are concealed from your view, your defense systems should immediately activate. Stop right here and write this down. This is the painful truth you have been avoiding. The people who deceive you the most are not strangers in dark alleys. They are the people standing right next to you. They use words to blind you, knowing you never actually look at their baseline behavior. Your blind trust is their greatest weapon. They know exactly what to say to make you feel safe, while their body language screams disrespect. You must accept that your desire to believe them is exactly what makes you a target. Let us go deeper into the hands, specifically into what behavioral analysts call pacifying behaviors. When someone is stressed, anxious, or actively deceiving you, their limbic system triggers a fight or flight response. Heart rate increases, adrenaline spikes. But because they are sitting in a modern office or at a dinner table, they cannot physically run away or punch you. So, the brain forces the body to pacify itself. Watch what their hands do. They will suddenly start rubbing the back of their neck. They will stroke their own arm. They will touch their face, rub their collarbone, or adjust their tie. Why? Because rubbing these areas stimulates the vagus nerve, which releases calming neurotransmitters into the body to lower the heart rate. When you ask someone a direct question, and their immediate response is to rub the back of their neck before answering, you have just triggered a massive spike in their anxiety. They are pacifying themselves because your question feels like a threat. But if you want to look at the most honest part of the human body, you must look away from the face entirely. You must look at the feet. Throughout human evolution, our feet were our primary mechanism for survival. They allowed us to run from predators and freeze in the presence of danger. Because we spend our entire lives focusing on controlling our facial expressions, we completely forget to control our feet. They are the ultimate biological lie detector. If you are talking to someone and their torso is facing you, but one of their feet is pointed directly toward the door, the conversation is over. Their brain has already calculated the escape route, and their body is subconsciously preparing to leave. Watch out for this exact freeze response. It will save you from catastrophic decisions. If you ask someone a critical question, did you take the money? Were you with her? Are you hiding something from me? And their feet, which were previously tapping or moving, suddenly freeze completely flat on the floor. You have struck a nerve. The limbic system's first response to a deadly threat is not to fight or flee. It is to freeze. Like a deer caught in headlights, the brain paralyzes the feet to avoid detection. Sudden stillness in the lower body is one of the most powerful indicators of high-stress deception. Conversely, watch for gravity-defying behaviors. When someone hears truly good news, their feet will bounce, their toes will point upward. We do not defy gravity when we are depressed or lying. We only defy gravity when we are genuinely elated. Now, let us expose the illusion of the smile. Most people are easily manipulated by a warm smile, but you must separate the fake from the real. A genuine smile, rooted in true human emotion, is called a Duchenne smile. It engages the orbicularis oculi muscles, the muscles right around the eyes. It creates wrinkles, it pulls the cheeks up, and it alters the entire upper half of the face. A fake smile, designed to manipulate your trust or hide malice, only uses the mouth. The eyes remain completely dead, cold, and calculating. When someone flashes a mouth-only smile at you, they are not expressing joy. They are wearing a mask. They are performing the social expectation of happiness while remaining internally unbothered. Prepare yourself for this next concept. Once you see it, you will never unsee it. You must train yourself to catch microexpressions. These are split-second facial reactions that reveal a person's true emotional state before their conscious mind can step in and hide it. They last less than half a second. You tell a coworker about your recent promotion. Before they force that fake smile to congratulate you, their face flashes a fraction of a second of pure disgust or anger. The upper lip pulls back, the nose wrinkles, or the eyebrows pull down. That split second is the absolute, unfiltered truth. The congratulations that follow are just the social performance designed to keep you blind. But there is one microexpression that is more dangerous than all the others combined: contempt. Disgust is a reaction to something gross. Anger is a reaction to an obstacle. But contempt is the universal sign of perceived superiority. It is the only asymmetrical microexpression. It looks like a half smile, a slight smirk where only one side of the mouth pulls up. When you see this expression on a partner's face, a friend's face, or a business partner's face, you are in immediate danger. Contempt means they look down on you. It means they feel superior to you and they do not respect you. Clinical psychologists state that contempt is the #1 predictor of divorce and relationship failure. You cannot negotiate with contempt. When you start catching these microexpressions, you will quickly realize who your real friends actually are. It will be a profoundly lonely realization, but it will save you years of betrayal. Space is the ultimate indicator of power and dominance. Notice how people manage physical distance, a concept known as proxemics. When someone constantly invades your personal space, they are not being friendly. They are testing your boundaries. They are establishing territorial dominance to see if you will shrink, step back, and submit. Weak people back away. Dangerous people hold their ground. When an alpha predator enters a space, they expand. They drape their arms over chairs, they spread their belongings across the table, they claim territory. Conversely, watch how a person adjusts their space around others. A person with true social intelligence and empathy will naturally adjust their distance to make others feel comfortable. The manipulator invades space to assert control. If someone leans aggressively into your space during a negotiation, do not lean away. Hold absolute stillness. Your refusal to shrink shatters their intimidation tactic instantly. Write this down right now. Burn it into your memory. Congruence is the only metric of truth. If the words, the tone, and the body language do not perfectly align, the words are a lie. Period. Period. If someone says they passionately agree with your idea, but their shoulder slightly shrugs, their voice lacks resonance, or their head imperceptibly shakes, "No!" while their mouth says yes, they are deceiving you. Their biological wiring is betraying their spoken lie. Never confront them on the words. Let them talk. Let them build their web of lies while you quietly observe the structural failure of their body language. You do not need to call them out, you just need to know. But here is the catch. You cannot spot an incongruence if you do not know their baseline. Every human has a normal operating state. Some people naturally talk with their hands. Others are naturally stiff. Some people make intense eye contact naturally. Others are naturally shy. You must observe them when there is no stress, when they are talking about the weather or what they ate for breakfast. That is their baseline. You are not looking for specific gestures. You are looking for deviations from the baseline. If a person who always talks with their hands suddenly locks them under the table when you ask about the finances, the deviation is the lie. If a person who never makes eye contact suddenly stares unblinking into your soul when making a promise, the deviation is the lie. Finally, look at the small behaviors. You want to know someone's true, unfiltered character? Watch how they treat invisible people. Watch how they treat the waiter, the janitor, the receptionist, or anyone who holds absolutely no social status or power over them. Manipulators are brilliant at charming people they need. They're intensely polite to bosses, investors, and potential targets. But true character always leaks when there's absolutely nothing to gain. If they are charming to you, but rude to someone who cannot help them, that is who they really are. If they fail small commitments, like showing up 5 minutes late consistently without a care, they will fail big ones. They do not fully hide who they are. They leak it through behavior every single day. You no longer have an excuse to be manipulated. You now possess the framework to decode the silent language of human nature. While others trust blindly in words, you observe congruence. While others are deceived by fake smiles and cheap promises, you see the biological truth. That is not distrust. That is clarity. And clarity is the silent superpower that separates the naive from the aware, the prey from the predator. Subscribe to join the minority who sees reality clearly. Check the links in the description to arm your mind with advanced psychological frameworks. Stop listening to the noise of their words. Start watching the truth of their behavior.